Hey everyone, I thought Charlie might want to actually do the vegan Q&A today, cause here he is. Seriously, Charlie, what are you doing? Hi everyone, Charlie here to answer your questions about animals, cause he's an animal, as am I. But he's a furry animal, and he's cute, and he's black and white, and he's fuzzy, and he's got a little white spot on his face and on his tail. Charlie, show us your tail. He's got a little white spot on his tail, but I guess you can't see it. Hi, everybody. That's hilarious. Oh my God, I zoomed in. I will zoom myself back out. How the heck? Okay, so Charlie can still stay in the frame. I'd have to duck. Hi everybody, I get distracted. It's like I have ADD when it comes to the cats. It's like CDD. I have CDD because if the cats are around, if there's an animal, I'm like the cartoon character. What was that from Up? If there's when the dog saw a squirrel and just like you can't do anything other than focus on that squirrel. That's what I'm like when I see animals. Desi, Jim, black and white tuxedos are the best. Black and white tuxedos are the best. Hi everybody, how are you? Colleen Patrick-Goudreau here. Let me know where you're from and how you are today. It is Monday. Mondays are always just like an adjustment to the rest of the week and coming off of the weekend. It's so crazy. I never feel like I get enough done on Mondays. I always feel like I'm organizing on Mondays. Anybody else feel that way? I am going to take your quick fire questions and answer in a quick fire fashion. Share this video right now if you want to share this with other people. Of course, anybody on your page who might be interested in all things related to living compassionately. So share the video right now. You can do it while I'm talking, while we're live. Jeannie asked if I got a haircut. I mean, I didn't get my length cut, but I did. I have a new hairstylist because my hairstylist has retired and she's broken my heart. And so I have a new stylist, and I wish you didn't notice because I don't want people to notice, but she cut my bangs a little shorter than I like. So yeah, kind of. So yeah, you're not supposed to notice these things. This is just a little shorter than I would like. Anyway. So hi everybody. Hi Michael. Good to see you. Tanya is in New Zealand. Hello from Maine. Hello Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. When you say you love my book, Sarah, I don't mean this to sound in any way self-aggrandizing, but which book? I've got 7. Which book do you love? So number 1, share the video while we're talking. Number 2, my birthday is in 2 days. 2 days. Not thrilled about it, not loving birthdays like I used to love birthdays. I'm excited. I'm excited because we're going to share with friends and have a good time. But my birthday is in 2 days, and I have, thank you, Jeannie. I have a request. My request, the birthday present that I ask of you, if you're interested in giving me a birthday present, you might not be, is to please go subscribe to the Animology podcast. We have a new graphic. People were telling me that they really wanted my face on the graphic, and I heard about it from a number of people, and I just thought, there was something missing from the old graphic. It just didn't have life in it, and it turned out that because you needed a human being to give it some life. So let me know what you think about the new graphic. But if you could go subscribe and also leave a rating and review on iTunes, that would be the only gift I would ask of you for my birthday. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. Well, I'll tell you, I'm 103. Which is pretty cool. This is what vegan does to you. I'm 103. Melissa says, eating tofu that you get in a grocery store, is it safe to eat? Any of the Morningstar safe? I hear it's processed and causes cancer. Melissa, who are you listening to? My goodness. Thanks, everybody. You don't have to wish me happy birthday. Plus, it's in 2 days. Melissa, what? The information that people get, it's just unbelievable. Thank you, Michael. Michael, if you've already subscribed, thank you, but have you left a rating and review? That is the question. Thank you, Tina. So, Melissa, the tofu you get in the grocery store, as opposed to where else would you get the tofu from? You mean as opposed to making it from scratch? So yeah, what I recommend with tofu is, I do think the best thing to do is, I personally wouldn't get the tofu that's like in a tub of water, sitting in a vat in like Chinatown. It's just bacteria sitting there. I just wouldn't trust it. But in terms of vacuum packed packaging that's in a grocery store, either in a tub, like a little tub that's in water, or in a vacuum packed packaging, absolutely, it's safe. Morningstar safe. Look, in terms of what causes cancer, we have really definitive information about what causes cancer, and Morningstar isn't on the list. So is Morningstar very heavily processed? Yes. What I talk about when I talk about processed foods is that when we eat foods, unless you're eating everything right off the vine and right off the tree, everything is processed. You take a blueberry and you make a smoothie and you've processed that blueberry. But is there anything wrong with blueberry smoothies? No. You take a peanut and you make peanut butter and you've processed that peanut. Is there anything wrong with peanut butter? In my opinion, no. So when we talk about processed foods, we have a spectrum. You have, very little processed, like peanut butter and, blueberries smashed. And then you get all the way to very heavily processed. What's the worst thing about very heavily processed is that it's as far away from whole. So my answer is, make the foundation of your diet whole foods. That doesn't mean you can't consume more heavily processed things on that spectrum. Cancer isn't the issue in those cases. It's more that it's farther away from the whole foods, and the whole foods is where you're going to get the most nutrients. I talk about, obviously nutrient dense foods to me is really what I seek out. But I have no ethical issues. I don't not think that having Morningstar once in a while is a problem at all. The more you consume whole foods, the more you can crave whole foods. And so absolutely make them part of your diet. Really, where we know there is cancer and heart disease is in animal products. It's definitive, and unfortunately what people hear about is Morningstar and get people afraid of consuming a plant-based food rather than animal products. But if we want to avoid, if we want to do the best we can in terms of avoiding the preventable diseases like diabetes, like heart disease, like other heart-related atherosclerosis and cancers, then the best we can do is consume a whole foods plant-based diet. Michael says, I can't for the life of me figure out how to review on iTunes. I was in a huge discussion about this with another vegan podcaster. They don't make it simple, or maybe I'm just dense. I'm sure you're not dense, Michael. One thing I will say is that on animologypodcast.com, if you're on my website, Animology Podcast, there's a link below. It says, do you love Animology? Leave an iTunes review. Click on that link and see if that takes you to the right place, and let me know, because that will be helpful to know. Yes, Kath, March 8th is my birthday. And don't you have a podcast episode about this on processed foods? And yes, so to Michael's point, I do have a podcast episode on processed foods. I also have a video on YouTube. So on my YouTube channel, you can find a couple episodes on a couple of videos about processed foods versus whole foods. So you can go find that. So everybody, my birthday is coming up in 2 days, and the only thing I'm asking for is for you to go please subscribe and share Animology. I guess I'm asking for 4 things. Share Animology, subscribe to it, and leave a rating and review. That's 3, if you want to count rating and reviews as one thing. Oh, good. Thanks, Michael. Thank you so much. I'm leaving in a few minutes to go walk down to the movie theater down the street from me and meet my husband to go see I Am Not Your Negro, which I'm very excited about. I'm actually in the middle of reading Go Tell It on the Mountain, which I'm enjoying immensely. Enjoying was depressing, but I really am enjoying reading the book. He's an amazing writer. And so I will be leaving to go for that. I just booked my Thailand trip, so my flights are now booked with my husband and I. So our Thailand trip, the vegan trip with CPG, that's me, is in October, and we filled up very quickly, and we're looking to do a CPG trip to Vietnam next year. So give me a thumbs up if you're interested in that. I'm pretty excited about it, and I'll probably announce it at the end of the Compassion Retreat. If you are interested in the Compassion what I'm calling it this year, last year was called the Compassion Immersion Retreat. This year I'm calling it Compassion in Action. And it will be about compassionate language, compassionate communication and framing, and also political engagement. So we're going to get a lot of really good work done on connection, self-care, self-compassion, obviously, and community, only C words, and also political engagement, which I guess is not a C word, civic engagement. That's a C word. I'm only going to use C words for this event. So it's called Compassion in Action. If you're interested, drop a line to support@joyfulvegan.com. Say you're interested in the event. It looks like it's probably going to be September. I'm looking for a space right now, and we're going to get a lot of great work done. And then those who come to that event will get first dibs on our trip in 2018. And I do think it's going to be Vietnam. Tina, yeah, our friend who is just a travel hacker, he found the flights for us. We were able to find a flight business class to Thailand from San Francisco using our miles, which is great. It's one of the benefits, obviously, of traveling, but we also are kind of mindful about using credit cards that give us points for traveling. So the flight out there, well, actually and back, it's all business class, and it's all through miles. So it's a nice thing. So we found ours through United and their partner EVA Airlines, which is a Taiwanese. I think it's Taiwanese airline, and then Alaska and the partner Cathay on the way back. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Becky, I love Becky. Question, froze my vacuum sealed tofu and thawed it, but actually do not need to cook it now. Can I just leave the thawed sealed package in the fridge or use it by the package date? Yeah, if you don't want to cook it and you just want to eat it and you've already thawed it and you're asking if you can just put it in your refrigerator at this point, absolutely. Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Are you just worried about the sell-by date? No, I think it's totally fine. I mean, I would still eat that tofu within a few days, even after putting it in the refrigerator, having been thawed. But yeah, you can put it in the refrigerator. Michael says, can't wait to see that film. If you're interested in another good book after you finish yours, I just finished My Life, My Love, My Legacy by Coretta Scott King. Oh, that's great, Michael. I haven't, that wasn't on my radar. Super inspiring, and she went vegan later in life. I know that about her. Wonderful. Well, thanks for that. I appreciate that. You're welcome, Becky. So again, everybody, you can share this video right now, and if anybody has any other questions, now would be the time to ask, and anybody who you share it with, this is a good time to ask. I'm just looking at my watch here, so I have just a few more minutes. And again, send an email to support@joyfulvegan.com if you're interested. Go listen to the most recent episode of Animology. It's an interview with Michelle Simon. We talk about the Big Dairy and how they have, they've been lobbying their political friends in Congress for decades, and so they have been lobbying the FDA for decades to make it illegal for plant-based milk companies to use the word milk on labeling because they think it confuses consumers. No, it doesn't. All they're doing is trying to squelch competition because they can't stand the fact that the almond milk companies and other milk companies, plant milk companies, are killing them in terms of profit. And no babies have to be, no females have to be impregnated, no babies have to be born, no males have to be killed, no environment has to be destroyed. It's so sustainable in terms of big picture, and they're getting destroyed by all of these plant-based milk companies. So despite the subsidies and the buybacks that they get, the government buybacks that they benefit from, the dairy industry, they are still weeping and crying and whining about the fact that they think that people are confused by the word milk on almond milk packaging. No, they're not. You're just trying to squelch competition. So Michelle and I talk about it, and of course, in terms of animology, we talk about it in the context of the word milk and why they can use that argument for their argument. And so they've been lobbying the FDA for years. The FDA has just basically ignored them. And now, of course, they're using members of Congress, which now more than ever scares me because of the administration we have. But they have a couple members of Congress who have put forth a bill called the Dairy Pride Act, which is the best name. It's just so awesome. I love it. I love it. You can go to my episode, my interview with Paul Shapiro, where we talk about euphemisms. Language is everything, people. Words matter. Language is everything. And so we talk about the word milk and ice cream and cheese and butter and mayo in the context of the Hampton Creek lawsuit that Unilever leveled against Hampton Creek because of the word mayo on their packaging. So it's a fascinating conversation. I think it is. I think it's an important conversation, and it really conveys, again, how important words are and how important framing is, and why we need to control the frame and why we need to lead the public discourse on ethics and language and truth. So go have at it, and you'll find all that in Animology. Melissa says, I was just following Esther, the Wonder Pig, here on Facebook. Have you heard of her? Yes, I have, Melissa. Yes, I have. Sarah says, what do you think of soy? Is it really that bad? Some people say it should be avoided. Yes, some people are just perpetuating a myth. I have podcast episodes on soy, and I have videos on my YouTube channel on soy. You can just type in soy is not evil, which might give you an idea of what I think about soy. Bottom line is that soy is a bean. Soybeans are beans. Soy milk, soy tofu, tempeh, they're beans. You take a bean and you boil it and you make milk, and then you coagulate that milk. That's what we're talking about. In terms of the studies and research, peer-reviewed research, not alternative facts research, but actually peer-reviewed research, what we find is that soy is either neutral or protective, not harmful. So that's the bottom line about soy. Again, make whole foods the foundation of your plant-based diet. Make whole foods the foundation of your diet, and of course consume whole soybeans and whole soy that way, or beans that way. But in terms of what the studies show, eat a variety of foods. Absolutely include soy into your diet and enjoy it. I love tofu. I'm actually having tofu for dinner tonight. I love edamame. I love tempeh, even though I haven't really eaten tempeh in a while, just because I tend to like tofu more. And what else? Soy milk. Again, I drink milks, but I tend to drink almond milk more than any other, and of course I make my own. So I love soy. I have no problem saying that, and you're absolutely welcome, Sarah. So Eddie says, maybe stop torturing cows and destroying the environment and grow almonds. Well, unfortunately, almonds have their own issues as well. I mean, we're talking about agriculture in all of these cases. I mean, one of the things I talk about when I talk about milk is really the bottom line is we have only, the only physiological requirement we have for anything is for water. We have no physiological requirement even for almond milk or soy milk or cashew milk or coconut milk. Those are wonderful additions to our diet. They're wonderful additions to our food repertoire. They're creamy. They're delicious. They are nutritious, not hugely, but of course they're nutritious. Certainly not harmful as dairy products are. But the truth is, they're still just a product, and they're agricultural products, and really all we need is water. Even when you're making something like pancakes, you'd be surprised. We're all taught that we have to make sure we use dairy milk and chicken's eggs. You could just use water in many of these cases. We've all been bought and sold these notions and these products. So have I tried soy curls? I have not. I know there are people who rave about soy coils, but I have not had soy coils. Speaking of which, my accent, I'm going to be in New Jersey at the end of this month. That was my New Jersey accent, and I can say that because I'm from New Jersey. It's not racist. Do I have a recipe for almond milk? Kenda, I do. It's so easy. Here, you ready? Here's my recipe. I have a video that's on Facebook and Instagram. It has like over 1.5 million views, and it's just like one of my 15-second videos on how to make almond milk. It's crazy. Here's my recipe for almond milk. You ready? 1 cup of almonds, raw almonds, 4 cups of water. I put a little agave in there as well. You soak your 1 cup of almonds in however many cups of water, doesn't matter, just cover the almonds. Soak your almonds at least overnight. When I say at least overnight, or most overnight, at least for 6 hours, but overnight is best. And drain them and rinse them when they're done soaking. Put them in a blender. High-powered will give you a better result. That 1 cup of almonds, of the soaked almonds, to 4 cups of water. I put some agave in there. You can put some cinnamon in there. You can put some vanilla extract in there, and you have a delicious almond milk. So you basically turn on your machine and blend, and then you just use a cheesecloth to strain out the pulp. You can use that pulp for pancakes or waffles. You can use it for baked goods, etc. And there you go. There's the recipe. It's very easy, and anybody can just write that down right now. And then, yes, if you want it formally written down, I have it in the vegan table, and I have it in the 30-day vegan challenge. Rice milk is great too, Marina. No. Rice milk is fine. None of these are bad. Are you referring to the fact that I was mentioning the agriculture aspect? No, rice milk is great, and you can make rice milk easily yourself as well. I have a horchata recipe in the Joy of Vegan Baking. Horchata is the traditional Mexican milk drink that's sweet. It has cinnamon. I'm about to sneeze. I don't know if you can tell. Sorry, that's why I'm wiping my nose. And oat milk. You can make oat milk. You soak some oats, and then you puree them with some water. Like, it's so easy to make all this stuff. Melissa asks, what multivitamins do you recommend? I'm exploring the vegan diet and want to make sure I'm getting all the proper nutrients. Well, one of the things I will tell you, Melissa, is go right now to Amazon, get the 30-day vegan challenge. Get yourself a copy, because every single chapter, it's broken up by the single nutrients that we're so obsessed by. There's a chapter on protein, there's a chapter on calcium, there's a chapter on iron, there's a chapter on multivitamins, there's a chapter on soy, there's a chapter on lunches, there's a chapter on breakfast, there's a chapter on baking without eggs. So the 30-day vegan challenge is meant to answer all the questions you have. So that's number one. I highly recommend it. It's like, I don't even know, $12 over at Amazon, and it will change, everything for you, and it will give you all the information you need. To answer your question, I do recommend a multivitamin without iron. I get Diva multivitamins. They're vegan, and you can find them at Amazon as well. So when you get your multivitamins, you can pick up a copy of the 30-day vegan challenge, or vice versa. When you get your copy of the 30-day vegan challenge, you can get some multivitamins over there as well. And that's really all I do. I do take a B12. The multivitamin I take does have a B12, but I'll take an additional B12, and I also take DHA, which is also from Diva, D-E-V-A. It's a really good company. Christine says, how different is the new edition of the Joy of Vegan Baking? Well, this year is the 10th anniversary of the Joy of Vegan Baking, everybody. And so Christine's asking how different it is. The photos are completely different. The recipes have been updated, just kind of, updated, but no substantial changes. It's more that they wanted to have a new updated version for the 10-year anniversary, and there's a new cover, as you can see. Substantially, in terms of the content itself, it's pretty much the same. I have some new information in there about things like aquafaba, because aquafaba was not available when I wrote the 30-day vegan challenge, or it hadn't been discovered yet. But I'm really excited. So I think it's coming out. The new edition is going to be available in June or July. I have several copies of the Joy of Vegan Baking, the original edition here. I might do some special if people want signed copies, because I'd like to get the rest of the original edition, which will be out of print at some point in the world, and you'll have an original edition of the 30-day of the Joy of Vegan Baking, but the new version's coming out in like June or July. You're welcome, Melissa. Enjoy and good luck. And Amy says, thank you for sharing your heart and your brain and your travels. Oh, thank you, Amy. You're welcome. That's so sweet. So I am grateful to all of you. Again, my birthday present to me is asking you to go subscribe to Animology. It's a podcast about the animal-related words and expressions we use. And it's so important, and it's so interesting, and you will walk around. I do this now. I annoy everybody around me. I walk around. I mean, I don't know everything, obviously, but people are talking about, like, that's an animology. That's an animology. And they're like, how is that an animology? There are so many words we use that are animologies, that actually have animals hidden in their origins. I put one out today. Go share it on Facebook. On gerrymandering. Gerrymandering is when you basically change the lines of a district in favor of people who will vote for you. And it was from the first governor who passed this law to do this redistricting, and his last name was Jerry, apparently pronounced Gary at the time, and so when you looked at the map of what he created when he changed the lines for the districts, it looked like a salamander, and so immediately some journalists kind of glommed onto that, combined Jerry and Mander from salamander, and you've got gerrymander. So that's an animology, and we talk a lot about gerrymandering. It's something that's happening a lot these days. And redistricting is going to happen again in 2020, which is why I've encouraged everybody to go check out Swing Left so we can be part of making sure we turn the districts blue in the House, the swing districts. So gerrymandering is an animology. How fascinating is that? How fascinating is that? So go share the graphic that I created for you on Facebook just below. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to put this out a couple times between now and tomorrow at 5 o'clock. My very good friend, Christy Middleton, I had to think about her name. I know who my very good friend is, will be joining me here, and we're going to be talking about her new book, Meatless. It's coming out tomorrow, which is a great gift to the world. Perfect timing for my birthday, but it's not for me. She's written for everybody who has any inclination, any interest at all in becoming, in just reducing their meat consumption. It's meant for mom and pop and grandpa and grandma and anybody who says, well, I could never go vegan, but I could stop eating meat. Christy's vegan. The book basically has a vegan message, but it's called Meatless, and it's really for anybody who thinks they could not go vegan, or who is aware that their consumption of meat, dairy, and eggs is destructive for themselves, for the animals, and for the environment. So I am very excited to have her join me, and you can ask her all of your questions. So be sure to put it on your calendar tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time. I am going to have some tofu right now and some fennel, because I'm going to have a salad. And then I'm going to walk down to the Grand Lake Theater, and I'm going to go see I Am Not Your Negro. So thank you for subscribing to Animology, and for listening, and for leaving a rating and review, and for sharing it, because those are 5 things I asked you to do for my birthday. And thank you for joining me. And Charlie's gone. Oh no, Charlie's still there. Charlie's still there. Charlie's right. Where'd he go? Wait, did I go? No, there he is. He just can't see him because he's dark. See him right here? He's blending in. He's blending in with the darkness. And then, how you like that? Zoom. And then there's Michiko. I can't get this back down again. There it is. Okay. Do not want to see me that close. There's Michiko. Thanks, everybody. Charlie, the coffee table. He does look like he's on a coffee table. You're welcome, Marina. Debbie, you're welcome. Sarah, love you back. And everybody have a wonderful night. MJ Solomon says, have I done a podcast about buying a car and leather? So many new cars have leather steering wheels, even if you choose cloth seats. That's interesting. Oh, God, it's just an imperfect world, MJ. I think it's good to know. I have not done a podcast on it. I think it's good to know to be able to ask car sellers about that. I have not even done an episode on that. But I guess I would just say, again, as always, do the best we can. Use it as an opportunity to educate people. Certainly share with people my leather podcast, my leather videos, and use it as an opportunity for outreach and education. You're welcome, Christine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks. Happy day to all of you, and get a Tesla vegan interior option indeed, Eddie. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Michael. Oh, that's interesting. Really, the BMW i3 electric, and the chairs are covered with Coke bottled material. I love it. Oh, fantastic. You're welcome, Becky. Love everybody. Talk to you later. Have a wonderful night for the animals. This is Colleen Patrick-Goudreau. Thanks for watching.